Hey there, this is Red. It's time for another episode of Red Plays. All right, Sinister Six failed last time out. I think it's because I drew horribly as Miles Morales Spider-Man. So we're gonna give her another go, see how it turns out this time. Got everything set up. I've got Spider-Man out there. He's got his 9 hit points. We've got our Sinister synchronization out there. It starts with 2 light at the end. It's got a hinder 10 plus 10, so we've got a total of 20 on there. We need a couple of villains to come into play, so let's see what we've got here. I'm going to shuffle them up a little bit more. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And we're going to grab 2 villains and see what we get. So we get Scorpion and Dr. Octopus. All right, these are 2 I haven't seen yet, so let's see what we've got here. So Scorpion, 0 scheme, 3 attack, force response after Scorpion attacks and damages you. Stun a character you control. Move the active counter to the next villain in activation order. All right. Ooh. So stun a character you control. I don't like that. So he's got 3 attack and 10 hit points. Okay. So he's got more than any of the other ones I dealt with. So we'll do 2, 5, and a 2 and a 1, I think. That'll fill him up. All right. And we got Doc Ock. So 2 scheme, 2 attack. All right. After Doc Octopus attacks and damages you, place 1 threat on each scheme. Move the active counter to the next villain in activation order. All right. And he attacks for 2. All right. So he's got activation order 1. Scorpion's got activation order 5. And health, we got 8 hit points we need to drop on there. So let's take care of that. 2, where's a 5? There's a 5. So 5, 2, 1. And then I'm double checking this, and active counter on the villain with the lowest activation order value. So lowest activation order value is going to be Doc Ock. All right, so he's going to be my active villain. All right, I think we're good to go here. And draw up to Miles's 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what we've got. All right, we've got Dum Dum Dugan right out of the door, right out of the gate, I guess. We got Lee there, which I like having him. Arachnobatics and a surveillance team. All right, so I don't think global logistics is going to do me any good. We'll get that out of there. I think Dum Dum Dugan's just too expensive right off the bat, so we're going to take him out. Surveillance team, I probably won't play, so we'll take that out. We're going to draw 3 cards. Actually, as a shield card, it might not be bad to get rid, but I want to get some more resources, so let me get 3 cards out here. There we go. Okay. The other 2 cards were not things I was looking for. I was hoping for some more double resources, so that'll work. All right. So it's our turn. We're going to get rolling. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get Mr. Lee out there, and he says, action, exhaust him, draw a card if I'm hero form. If you're in hero form, choose and discard 1 card from your hand. So since I am not in hero form, I'm in alter ego form. Let's get him out there. So we're going to use our energy, get him out there. We'll exhaust him. And because we're in our alter ego, we just get to draw a card. Ooh, a field agent. I like that. Okay, let's flip on over to Spider-Man. Now, what I'm thinking is if I do web shot, I can potentially take Doc Ock out. So that's 4 damage, plus I'd get to do my Venom Blast, which would end up being another 2 damage. I would stun him, and then I could attack him and take him out. And that would look like that, and then I could get my field agent into play. The other thing I could do is, well, I could do my Arachnobatics, but if I do that, I'm not going to get to do a lot of... I don't get to do that much damage. It's only 2 damage, so it's not all that special. because all of my status cards would end up going to Doc Ock, which I would take out. I can't do 10 damage because there's 4, 2, plus 2. But I can't take out Scorpion. So yeah, I think that's going to be our plan, is we're going to take out Doc Ock here. All right, so we're going to do 2. We're going to do a web shot. Oop. Yep. And I'm going to use a energy resource for that. So I get to use my Venom Blast. So we're going to do 4 plus my Venom Blast is another 2. I'm going to drop a stun on him. I'm going to exhaust Spider-Man to go ahead and attack him. So we're going to take Doc Ock out. When I do that, when defeated, remove 4 threat from a side scheme. So we're going to take 4 threat off of light at the end. All right. Doc Ock is going to go away for now. Going over to the side. And Scorpion's going to become my active villain at this point. All right, then we're going to bring our field agent into play. And he gets 3 counters on him. 2, 3. All right. End of my hero phase. We're going to unexhaust everything. We need to draw back up to 5 cards. So there's a Spider-Man, a swing-in, surveillance team, double life, and a field agent. Okay. Downside to that is Spider-Man there. Cost 1 of each, and I don't quite have that. All right. Scorpion, what's going to happen here? Scorpion, we're going to go over to the villain's turn. We put 1 threat on the main scheme. Scorpion's going to see Spider-Man out there, so he's going to come to attack. I don't know that defending against it is going to do me any good, because he's going to do past my defense anyway. And if I take damage, I'm stunned. I don't have any way to avoid it. So I think we're just going to go ahead and take the damage. So he's attacking for 3. He's going to get boost. 1 plus, place 1 threat on each scheme. All right. So he's going to do 4 to me. I'm going to take 4. And then I'm stunned. On top of that, we add 1 threat to each scheme. 1 and 1. All right, next up is we get an encounter card. Encounter card is Partnership of Pain. When revealed hero, the villain with the highest activation order value attacks you with plus X attack, or X is equal to the total attack of all other villains in play. Well, luckily, there's no other villains in play. Unfortunately, taking another attack is going to be pretty rough. I think we're going to defend against this one because I don't want to take a full 3. I could end up dead if he draws the right card, so we'll defend against this one. I got 3. He's going to boost. Oh, there's a no boost there. All right. So 3. I defend 2, so I take 1. I would be stunned again, but I can't be double stunned, so that doesn't matter a whole lot. All right. End of the villain's turn, over to the hero's turn, and I took a beating that turn. So let's see what we're going to do here. So I'm stunned. That's not going to do me too much good. So I do have swing in. Swing in for 2 says remove 4 threat from a scheme. If I paid for this card using a mental resource, I get to do my camouflage ability. My camouflage ability is a tough status card and confuse an enemy. So I think we're going to try to do that. Let's try to pull off a swing in here. We're going to use... Ooh, I hate to use Spider-Man to do that. I don't know where to get a physical resource is my problem. I could try to get a card. Now, I think what I do is I could use my double life too to let me flip back, but I need a physical resource in order to do that. I really do need to rest up as Spider-Man too. I need to take a little bit of downtime to heal. Now, if I double life, I could use a physical to get myself back up. All right, in order to do my swing in, if I pay, I need to use a mental in order to do that. So let's go ahead and we're going to do our swing in. We're going to use these cards to do our swing in. So field agent, we're going to swing in. It's going to take 4 threat from a scheme. So we're going to take 4 threat off of life at the end. I think this game, my goal is going to be to burn down our light at the end a little bit quicker than trying to take people out. All right, and then I get to do Spider-Man's camouflage ability, which says I get a tough status card and the enemy is confused. Okay. At that point in time, we're going to flip over to Miles Morales. When I do that, I can shuffle a Spider-Man card back into the deck. So which one do I want to put back in there? The web shots are awfully nice, but I think swing in is the right one for this game here. So let's put a swing in back in there. All right, we're going to use Lee there to draw a card. We get Power Within. That's a hero response, but I can get that out there. I'm going to use my double life to put Power Within into play. That says after hero uses basic power, discard Power Within, resolve my Venom Blast ability. All right, so we're going to set that aside there. And then we'll be done. It's the end of our turn. We're going to draw back up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's all my double resources. All right, Lee's going to come untapped, and Miles Morales is going to come untapped. All right, over to the villain side. So we got Spider-Woman over here. Reduce the cost to play Spider-Woman by 1 for each confused enemy in play. Oh, he's going to unconfuse. So she would cost 3. Let's see, for Spider-Man himself, I need physical, and I could use that as an energy. So I could potentially get Spider-Man into play. Could go that way, and then hold on to Spider-Woman. And if I have if I get him confused, then I could... Maybe we could make this work. All right. What am I doing? I'm doing stuff. I am doing the villain's turn. So 1 threat on the main scheme. Getting a little bit lost there. 1 threat on the main scheme. Scorpion sees Miles Morales out there. He would scheme, but he's confused, so no scheming. All right. We draw a counter card. Counter card is caught off guard. When revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, surge. All right, so I have to decide which one I'm going to discard. I think I want to keep Lee out there, so it's the field agent, which is going to help shield folks not take consequential damage. Or it's my Power Within, which is going to let me do a Venom Blast, which does I think 2 damage and a stun, right? Yeah, 2 damage and a stun. I think I want to keep that. I think we're going to let our field agent go. All right. So that's the end of villain's turn. We're back over to the hero turn. Beginning of our hero turn, we're going to do Mr. Lee and draw a card. Got Global Logistics. It says exhaust shield card. Look at the top 4 cards, and then I can discard and kind of mess with them. Not overly worried about that right now. Now, one of the things that I can do this round is I can get Spider-Man into play. And I can get Spider-Woman into play. So 1, 2, 3 is Spider-Man. I need 1 of each, which I can do with my wild there, right? So that brings Spider-Man into play. All right. And then I can do, I need 3 to play Spider-Woman. I've got 4, so we'll bring Spider-Woman into play. All right, I need to heal up as Miles Morales, so I'm going to exhaust to heal myself up. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip on over to Spider-Man. All right, now I think our goal is going to be to thwart the heck out of that. So if I use a basic power, which I could if I... All right, so we're going to exhaust Spider-Man here to thwart for 2. And after he does that, I get to ready another Web Warrior card, and Spider-Man over here is a Web Warrior. All right, we will use Spider-Man over here to thwart for 2. We're going to take 2 off the Sinister Synchronization because I don't want that to get out of hand. When I do that, I can use my Power Within, which says, after you use a basic power, discard Power Within, resolve Spider-Man's Venom Blast ability. Venom Blast, deal 2 damage and stun an enemy. All right, done, done, done. What do we want to do with Spider-Woman here? She's got 1 thwart. I think we're going to go ahead and utilize her to take another 1 off the light at the end. And I need to hand out some consequential damage, which I'm forgetting about. 1 consequential and 1 consequential. All right, we're going to be done. So we're going to exhaust all of our stuff. We're going to draw back up to 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. We're going to go over to the villain's turn. So top of the villain's turn, we put 1 threat on the main scheme. Scorpion would see Spider-Man out here. He would come to attack, but he doesn't because he's stunned. So no Scorpion action. We draw an encounter card. Encounter card is Team Leader. Attached to villain with the lowest activation order. If you cannot resolve ambush ability on the main scheme, then attach this card to the active villain. So that's going to go to Mr. Scorpion. All right. So that's our crisis icon there. And the crisis icon is going to prevent us from removing threat from the main scheme. So we can still take threat off the side scheme, but not off the main scheme as long as Scorpion is out there. So I don't know that I'm all that concerned about that at this point in time. Could become problematic, but I think we need to concentrate on the side scheme anyway. All right. So that's the end of the villain. We're over to the hero side of stuff. I've got web shooters. I've got a double life I can play. I have Agent 13 also. Should be good to get out there. And I've got Quake. So Quake is because I'm missing my big destroyer. I had to sub in a card for my pre-con deck, so I've got Quake in there. And we don't really have minions in this game. We just have, well, there are a few villains, or I think there's a few minions maybe. But mainly we're dealing with villains. So I don't know if she's going to do a whole lot, but she's pretty cheap. And she's shield also. All right, so what are we going to go after here? Now, Agent 13 has 2 thwart, which would be great to get out for the light at the end. And when she does her thing, I get to ready a shield support, but I don't have any shield supports in play right now. In order to get her out there, I would have to use everything to get her out there. I think we're going to go ahead and use Mr. Lee here. And he's going to say draw a card, but then I have to discard a card. I got a government liaison. If I get him out, I can reduce the cost of a character by 1. I don't think we're going to use our double life. So let's go ahead and drop our double life to the side. Okay, so what I think is I do a web shooter for a web shooter. And then maybe I hold on to my liaison. Do I hold on to my liaison in Agent 13? Or I could use the web shooter at Agent 13. So if I use Quake to get a web shooter, use a web shooter to get a web shooter, use a web shooter at Agent 13, I can get the government liaison out. That could help me later on. So maybe, I think that's the route that we're going to go. All right. So, Quake, to get a web shooter out there with 3 counters on it. But I'm immediately going to use one of those for another web shooter. That's going to have 3 counters on it. But I'm going to immediately use that. Immediately make use of that to get a government liaison out there and Agent 13. Okay. We got a couple of web shooters. Now we need to figure out what to do with our characters here. So we're going to thwart with Spider-Man for 2. So we're going to take this down to 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. We're going to thwart with Spider-Man for 2. And already Spider-Man. We're going to thwart with Spider-Man. Knock it down to 4. And we're going to thwart with Spider-Woman. It's down to 3. All right, so these are both up to 2. And then we're done. So we're going to grab our exhaust tokens, which there's a lot of them at this point. I'm going to draw our 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Villain's turn. We're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. Scorpion is going to see Spider-Man out here, so he's going to come attack him. He's attacking for 3. I'm just going to take it. He's attacking for 3. He's going to get a boost of 1. So he's going to hit me for 4, but I'm tough. So a couple of things happen there. One is his special thing doesn't happen because he has to damage me. Then he would stun a character I control. And I'm already stunned, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot anyway. All right, then we're getting counter card, and counter card is Partnership of Pain. When revealed hero, the villain with the highest activation order value attacks you with X attack, where X is equal to the total attack of other villains in play. All right, so Scorpion's coming at me again. He's attacking for 3. Do I take this? I think we're going to take it. So 3, he's going to get a boost of 2. Ouch, so he hits me for 5. All right, so that hurt. That hurt pretty bad. We're at 6 out of 9. We're stunned. All right, that's the end of Scorpion's turn. Villain phase. We're back over to the hero phase. All right. Hero phase. Let's see, I could use my government liaison. I could get a to help me get a Jefferson Davis into play. So let's do that. We're going to exhaust my field agent. Well, actually, it's not going to matter how I play this. We'll exhaust our government liaison to help me get a field agent into play. And then he's going to have 3 counters on him. So let's see here. I need counters. Wow, I'm running out of counters. I'm going pretty quick. 2, let's see, field agent has 3 on him. Okay. All right, at that point in time, how do we play this? I think we do. We're going to exhaust Spider-Man to take 2 off the light at the end of the tunnel. And we're going to exhaust Spider-Woman to thwart. And we're going to exhaust our field agent to stop her from taking the consequential damage. All right, at that point, light at the end of the tunnel, we satisfy. All right. All right, when the last thread is removed from the scheme, resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme. Then flip this card. I'm going to be over on this side, which has got hinder 10 +5. We're going to get another card. All right, so let's get that out there. 10. It's going to have 15. All right, at least this time around, I got to the second side. That's a start. Now we resolve the ambush. Ambush on here says, choose a set-aside villain at random, put the villain into play in expert mode in play and place the active counter on it. Okay. So I'm going to put the active counter on it after I figure out which villains. We're going to do some shuffling here. And we're going to grab this one right here. And we get Hobgoblin. All right, Hobgoblin's got, after Hobgoblin attacks and damages, you take 2 indirect damage. All right, so Hobgoblin's going to come into play. And he starts with 9 hit points. And he gets our active counter. Okay. Now, other fun things we want to do here. So I think we're going to get our swing-in action going. So we're going to do two government liaisons. Actually, we'll just use our 2 web shooters. Web shooter, web shooter. And then we're going to swing in. We use one of those to do a mental. Swing in says, move 4 threat from a scheme. If you pay for this card using a mental resource, do my camouflage ability. All right, so we're going to take 4 threat off. And use my camouflage ability, which says, give me a tough status card and confuse an enemy. So, tough status card, confuse an enemy. All right, now, how do we play the rest of this? I think we exhaust Spider-Man to thwart 2 off of here. So we're going to go from 11 down to 9. Let's make this a 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. At that point in time, consequential damage takes the Spider-Man out. As a response, we get to unexhaust a character. We'll exhaust Spider-Man to thwart 2 more off of here. So it's down to 7. Taking a little bit of a beating. Let's go ahead and flip on over to Miles Morales. And we can put a Spider-Man card back into the deck. So we're going to grab the swing in right here, and I'm going to put that back in the deck. Shuffle it up. How many cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. We're going to exhaust Lee here to draw a card. We don't have to get rid of a card. Ooh, we got Ghost Spider. Oh, I do still have a Web Warrior. So we're going to go ahead and do 3. Bring Ghost Spider into play. And then we will exhaust Ghost Spider. And she's going to take 1 consequential damage to thwart 1 off of our light at the end. All right. So when she leaves play, search your deck for identity, specific event, and add it to your hand. Okay. That is the end of the hero turn. We're going to unexhaust all of our things. Unexhaust, which is a lot. do. And I'm going to draw 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, villain's turn. First thing, 1 threat on the main scheme. Goes up to 6. Hobgoblin's got the active token. He would see Miles Morales out there, so he would scheme, but he does not because he's confused. It's good. All right, at that point in time, we are going to draw a counter card. Counter card is Life-Size Decoy. And expert mode, life-size decoy against toughness. And this says the engaged player cannot thwart side schemes. No, I was so close. Okay. All right. So the life-size decoy is going to come into play, and it's got 5 health on it. Oh, that was pretty close. And that's the end of the villain's turn. We're over to the hero's turn. Okay, so how do we do this? Make this work. So first thing we're going to do is with Lee, we're going to get a card. Boop. Global Logistics. All right. We do have Homeland Intervention, which says exhaust up to 3 shield cards you control. Choose a scheme. Remove 2 threat from a scheme for each card exhausted this way. That could be handy. Shield card, shield card, shield card. So what I need to do is get that life-size decoy out of the way. I've got a web shot. I think the web shot's going to allow me to do that. All right, so if we flip Miles on over to Spider-Man here, and let's pull off our web shot. We'll go ahead and use our web shooters to generate 2 to do our web shot. Oop, right here. And our web shooters will generate an energy. So deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you pay for this card using a energy resource, resolve my blast ability. My blast is 2 damage to an enemy and stun it. So we'll do 4 and then 2, and that should take out the life-size decoy. All right, gone. Okay, now I need to get through the light at the end. Oh, I was supposed to draw 2 cards. Let me see what the second card was. Brute Force Barricade. Victory 1. Threat cannot be removed from other side schemes. Oh. Ah. Okay. So that's got 9 on it. Yikes. Okay. That complicates things. I thought I could get out of this, but that's going to make it a lot tougher. Okay, let's see here. How do we work this now? All right, so I need to get 3 off of there. Wow, so I need to get 3 off of there in order to be able to work on that side scheme, because 3, and then I could do a Homeland Intervention. In order to get 3 off of there, I would need to do this and this. So we're going to exhaust Ghost Spider and Spider-Man. Ghost Spider is going to take a consequential damage. That's going to take 3 off of the Brute Force Barricade. All right, we will play Homeland Intervention. We will exhaust Government Liaison, our Agent, and Spider-Woman. So that's 3 shield cards. So exhaust up to 3 shield cards you control. Choose a scheme. Remove 2 threat from the scheme for each card exhausted this way. So then I'll take 6 off of the brute force barricade. All right. Brute force barricade is gone. Oh, I'm going to be so close, but I'm not going to get it. All right. We're going to spend 2 at this point. So I could swing in. I could get Monica Chang into play. I don't think that's the better play. I think the better play is going to be to swing in. All right, so we're going to do, we're going to use our Anacrobatics and Global Logistics to play a swing in. So swing in says remove, yes, Anacrobatics is a mental. All right, remove 4 threat from a scheme. If I paid using a mental, I get to use my camouflage ability. So there's 4 threat from a scheme. My camouflage ability says, give me a tough status card and confuse an enemy. So we'll go ahead and confuse Hobgoblin. Actually, let's use Monica Chang instead of an Acrobatics to play the swing in. All right, so we give Hobgoblin a confuse. Now, I was thinking maybe I would do it that way because I would play some Anacrobatics, but I think I'll just hold on to that. And we're going to get a lot of cards, right? Because I'm going to card out, which means encounter card. That's going to give me another encounter card, so it's shaping up to be a pretty tough next round. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, so she was exhausted from that. Spider-Man. Oh, see, what I don't recall is if I took consequential damage on Ghost Spider. So if I did take consequential damage with Ghost Spider, I would be able to dig a identity specific event and grab it out of here and add it. And I could do the final swing in to take light at the end out. But I think I did take the consequential damage on her. So I don't think she's dead at this point. Dang it. When you wanted your girlfriend to go away and she didn't, I guess. So, all right. So that's going to be the end of my turn. I'm going to draw back up to 5. So 1 encounter card. Shuffle. Man, it's got really complicated at the end here. I was so close. It was looking so good. Oh, man. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, villain's turn. Let's see how messy this is. We're going to put 1 threat on the main scheme. We're up to 7 out of 8. All right, Hobgoblin is going to see Spider-Man out there, which makes me wonder if I should have went over to Miles Morales form, but we're a bit late there. All right, so he's going to see Spider-Man out there. He's going to come to attack. He's going to attack for 1. He's going to get a boost of none. All right, so my tough is going to go away. So his secondary thing doesn't go off. So force response after Hobgoblin attacks and damages you, take 2 indirect damage. Move the active token to the next villain. So you didn't damage me, but token's still going over to Scorpion. All right, we've got an encounter card, bonus encounter card, and encounter card. That does not look good. All right, so let's start resolving through this stack and see what happens. Encounter card number 1, Gang Up. When revealed, the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. All right, so that means that Scorpion's going to come to attack. All right, Scorpion is attacking for 3. We're going to have Ghost Spider step in front of this one. So he's attacking for 3. He's going to get a boost of 3. Holy cow. All right, so he hits Ghost Spider for 6. Ghost Spider goes away at that point in time. All right, so he did not attack and damage me. So after Scorpion attacks and damages you, stun a character you control. And I move the active counter to the next villain. So I believe this goes over here. Ghost Spider's out. She's got, when Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. So search my deck. Yeah, search my deck. All right. So let's see here. Actually, if she had gone, might have had a problem because I don't know that I had any more Spider-Man stuff in my deck. All right. What are we going to grab out of here as my Spider-Man specific event? I don't know that that does me any good. Another swing-in, maybe. If I had a defensive thing, I would grab that, but I don't have a defensive card. Web shooters aren't going to do me any good. Maybe, I think what I'm going to grab out of here is a secondary swing-in, just in case some sort of event comes out that creates problems for me. Okay. All right, that was the first encounter card. Second encounter card. Boom. Advance. When revealed, the villain schemes. All right, Hobgoblin would scheme, but he's confused, so no scheming for the Hobgoblin. All right, encounter card number 3. Heightened morale. Attach to the villain with the highest activation order value. If you cannot, resolve the ambush ability on the main scheme and attaches to the active villain. X is equal to the number of villains in play. So the highest activation order value is going to be Scorpion, who's huge at this point in time. But I don't think it's going to matter because that's the end of the villain's turn. At the end of the villain's turn, these should all be unexhausted. We're back over to the hero turn. Hero turn, all I need to do is thwart the 2 off the light at the end. So we'll go ahead and use Spider-Man to thwart for 2, and we get away. Yes! So there we go. Let's make sure when the last threat is removed from the scheme, the players escape and win the game. Yay! All right. Miles Morales made it out, I think. I think I got through that one. So, I don't think I missed anything big there. I think there was the spot where I could not remember whether Ghost Spider had actually got her last consequential damage or not. Don't know whether it made all that big of a difference because we managed to carry on to the end there. I do really like, so after playing this through again, I do really like the Sinister Six thing. I think this is a lot of fun. The tough part, I believe, is deciding what it is that you need to do. I think with the Justice deck here, really going after the light at the end pretty heavily is what you want to do, like using your character's thwart to take things off the light at the end and work your way through that. I think if I was a more combat heavy deck, I would probably go after churning through the villains themselves, because after you churn through the villains, and I may have forgot to do that, there's the remove 4 threat when you defeat a villain, and 7 if it's the only villain in play. So I think if I was an aggression deck, I would probably go after the villains themselves. Not sure what I would do with a protection deck. Probably a lot more thwarting, I think. You would have to see how that works out. Or if it was a protection like send the damage back, then you'd be back to taking the villains out. Um, what do I think about the Miles Morales deck? So it worked out. I didn't make exhaustive use of the shield stuff, although it did come in handy at that point in time, keeping Spider-Woman around. Also, the Homeland Intervention that I got worked out really well. I came in at a time that I needed it. Having that extra 6 thwart in this scenario is very handy to knock a chunk of that stuff out. Um, what else? Lee ended up being very helpful. Didn't make huge use of my government liaison. Field agent did a couple of things that are more useful as I think uh, with the effect of when I did the Homeland Intervention. Still haven't hit a good chance to use global logistics. So top 4 cards of the player's deck, counter deck, discard any of those, and haven't had a good chance to do that reordering. Some point, I think that will help. I think that'd be a lot more fun in a multiplayer game. Uh, haven't made great use of Jefferson Davis yet either. There's a lot of threat going on in this game, so I could see if you got him out early, he would be really handy to just ping things down. Haven't made great use of Agent 13 yet either. I'm really interested in finding I think I've had better use getting other characters into play or doing other things thus far every time I've had her in my hand. So I'd kind of like to get Agent 13 into play. She hasn't done a whole lot either because I haven't had a whole bunch of shield supports out there to do other things. I have to say, this Spider-Man is great. He's been fantastic while working with uh, Miles Morales out here. They make an amazing combo. They work really well together. It would be tough to not play this card in this deck. I mean, you would have to be crazy not to play those 2 cards together. So I think that's kind of the victory combo there. And then you're thwarting 6 per round or attacking for 6 per round with the 2 of them. Maybe some first aids in there to heal him up so you can keep him around longer. But I really like that Spider-Man in there. All right, so there we go. There's victory. I'll probably play another one of these because I like this. I think I might try Ghost Spider and see how that goes. I've got a feeling I'm not going to like it. So probably only one playthrough of Ghost Spider, no matter which way it goes, but we'll see. I've only played one game with Ghost Spider thus far, so shouldn't be too judgmental about that deck and what I think of it. I should play it a little bit more. There's other decks that I thought I wouldn't like, but as I played them more, I like those characters more. So maybe Ghost Spider will grow on me like a fungus or something. I don't know. So we'll have to see. But yep, I really like this encounter. I love that you don't know exactly what's going to come out there. Some of those encounter cards are awful, though. Holy cow. And a couple of them at the end there came out at just the right time where it looked like I had victory. And it's like they'd plotted just the right thing in order to push it just a little while longer. Like that decoy came out at just the right time. Like, oh, I can get past the decoy. And then there was the other thing. What was that? That was the brute force barricade came out. Like, oh, that's just the right thing. So it was pretty interesting to see those cards come out. So yes, really loving the Sinister Six set. Highly recommend this encounter and playing through this. So let me know if I missed anything. I'll drop it in the comments. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching.